I don't drink soda. Is your preamp on? Yeah. Is my preamp on?
Let me see. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, man. We're preamp now.
I'm pretty amped. I'm
Computer
pre-amped.
stop. Computer stop. Are you preamped? Are you amped before the show?
Preamped, yeah.
Preamped?
I'm always amped to do some podding.
Hell yeah, I do a little podding.
Some podding and some...
And what?
I was trying to think of like a verb that rhymes with podding.
Like rocking and rolling.
Podding and nodding.
Podding and nodding. Okay, I do like that. We were about to start, and then I realized that one of the lights weren't on. So I turned that light on. Are all of the rest of the lights on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Then we're ready.
Now, given the fact that we have some daylight in here, is that going to overexpose us now? How did it look last week? I can't remember.
I don't think that is going to be a problem because we have the red wash.
Hell yeah.
On it. So the red wash is going to be good. Plus we have the preamp, which will help with exposure. I don't know how. I can't explain it, but the preamp somehow helps with the video quality as well. Okay. All the lights are on. We're ready to go. Do this.
We're ready to rock and roll.
3, 2, 2, 1.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
Hi, I'm 2024 presidential candidate, Awesome Tybez Cosney.
Computer is here, the one and only artificially intelligent podcast co-host. Say hello, computer.
God damn it, computer, say hello.
This is Hello, Computer, a series of interviews carried out in 2023 at a time when artificial intelligence appears to be going everywhere, all at once. Would you like to hear a computer joke?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't tell you a joke about Python if there's no pun indented.
What?
I can't tell you
A joke about Python.
if there's no pun indented.
Indented.
So that must be a real deep cut computer joke that we don't know.
Computer, you leave the joke into us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Computer, you leave the joke into us, okay?
I'm having trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
Don't worry about it, all right? Satchmo is also here. He's a hand puppet that was crudely involved in some sort of, what was his backstory? Before the Trump thing?
Louis Armstrong's genres include jazz, swing, and Dixieland.
Oh, boy.
Satchmo was part of some weird underground hand puppet thing.
Did we come up with a backstory for him?
No. I think I'm trying to lay down some canon right now.
Oh, okay.
I think
Cool. Yeah.
just because I don't know if we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on the show.
Let's hear it.
But I know that we did talk about it when he showed up, that Satchmo was brought on via like a government program where people that are in, horrible situations in life, whether they're raised in a basement and never allowed to see the day and think that the whole world is this basement, or maybe they work in a sweatshop from a very young age into their young adulthood and then get thrown out because they're useless now with their carpal tunnel and stuff.
Yeah.
So these people get put in this government program where they help give them employment, and they'll pay for a year's worth of employment for a company to bring them on, hire them, give them.
Oh, so we're actually, are we being paid for Satchmo to be here by the United States government?
Getting paid to be here by the government.
See, that's the kind of pork and barrel spending that when I'm elected president, I'm going to have to cut. That's a completely unnecessary program that the taxpayers are funding. You and I, it's coming out of our pocket for Satchmo to is he being paid or are we being paid? It doesn't matter. Someone's being paid for Satchmo to be here, just sitting there looking. I mean, he doesn't even look that cool.
And you guys are paying it.
He does very little.
In a roundabout
contributes almost nothing to the show. And this is coming out of the United States taxpayers' pockets. And that's just, and that's just one of countless programs that we need to eliminate so that
Okay, let me
take the
stop
burden
you.
off of the taxpayer.
Let me stop you real quick. I do agree with that. And Ty is running for president 2024 of the United States, president of the USA. But I think that we've been very politic heavy recently. And I was thinking this week that we do like a little light on the politics, a little more on the, goofy pop culture comedy podcast. Maybe not be a politics.
I mean, I don't know.
Politics light episode.
Have you checked the polls recently? We're not faring well. Are you sure that maybe it's a good time for that? We kind of have to. I mean, keep our eyes on the prize, and that's getting me elected president.
No, you're right. You're right. And that's why we should talk about it. We should bring it up.
Yeah,
we should do the things. I mean, today we are desperately trying to get in contact and team up with the Rizzler.
The Rizzler, social media superstar.
Mm-hmm. We brought him up, on a recent episode that we're going to try to get him on board to get in the younger generation.
Yeah, maybe not quite the voting age, but I mean, you imagine I'm going to need some kids to re-elect me in 4 years.
Yeah, and what it is the kids will influence the parents.
Yeah,
The kids talk about the thing, the parents go, well, the kids know what's cool.
The
I'm
children are our future, and getting the children, involved now is going to prevent them from doing crazy things in the future.
Yeah, because if you're not getting them on board when they're 8, 9, 10, someone else is gonna.
You got to indoctrinate them.
Yeah, someone else is gonna get them on board.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't do it, someone's gonna do it.
Yeah. So we need to lean into the politics then. Yeah.
Well, not next week. We could do a heavy politics, and this week we're also going to do the Rizzler thing, which is going to be a political segment. But we should also just kind of put in other things.
All right.
I was thinking that actually reminds me. This episode is brought to you by one of our brand new sponsors, which is ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN, you don't want the government to know what you're searching for.
No, not
you
at
don't
all.
want the big tech to have all your data and know what's going on in your sick mind.
Yeah.
So by using a VPN, ExpressVPN specifically, you're protecting your internet search history and all the data and shit on your computer from being infiltrated by these by the government.
Yeah. And say you want to watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's not available in your country on Netflix.
No, but you pop in that VPN, you say that you're from Canada, and all of a sudden you're getting access to the full Canadian Netflix library. They got all kinds of stuff that we're not able to watch.
Yep. So sign up to ExpressVPN. You could also visit the Silk Road, which is like a dark web.
Yeah, go on the dark road. I don't think
that's all. We're done.
I don't think the Silk Road is...
We're done. We only contractually are obligated to do that 58 seconds. So we can go on about the Silk Road, but we can't bring up the sponsor anymore. The company.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be affiliated with us whatsoever. And parody law only covers right under a minute. So 58 seconds.
Okay.
But yeah, the Silk Road. What's something that you're going to do about the Silk Road when you become president?
I'm going to make it more easily accessible. You're not going to have to you're not going to have to jump through a bunch of hoops and use 5 different things to access the dark web. You're going to be it's going to be as easy as pie. We're going to make just like a one and done type browser that you can just pop on, and it's easy. It's as easy to access the dark web as it is to, like Google search something.
Okay. That's
because I remember I went on the dark web one time and I had to download multiple things. I had to have a VPN, not ExpressVPN. Okay, just make that clear. I wasn't using ExpressVPN. I had to download the Onion browser, which is like some sort of dark road or dark web browser that you need. And then I also had to do like 3 or 4 other things. And it was just, it was a hassle. It took me like 15 minutes. I had to research how to do it. It's just, who has time for all that?
I heard that it came out that the Onion browser and a lot of other of those VPN middlemen things were created and operated by the FBI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So my theory, because I never went on the dark web and got a VPN back when it was like pretty much only seedy stuff that was going on there.
Yeah.
And it was like intriguing to go on there and to check it out and go see all the like hitmen for hire and all that
that's
shit.
what I did. I went on to like one of the marketplaces that where you could, look at all that stuff. I didn't order anything, but now I heard actually recently about a new one that's, I think it's still currently active. It's called Incognito. And that's essentially like what's popping right now, or maybe it recently got shut down. I'm not sure, but like that was the latest one.
Are you talking about incognito mode in your browser?
It's based on that. Like that's why they named it that.
Oh, okay.
But like no, it's like
and it's like a real incognito. They say.
Yeah, it's like it's like a marketplace where you can buy drugs and all that shit on the dark web.
So I always assumed that when you got a VPN that it just put you on a special list to be monitored extra hard.
I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't really have the data on that. Maybe we are. Maybe if you do use a VPN, the government's watching you and they just tell you you're not.
Yeah, maybe. So the Rizzler.
The Rizzler, yeah.
Popular internet personality.
Yeah, he's like a tween.
He does the thing.
He's got some rizz. He's charismatic. He's got, he's really big into Costco chicken bakes and some of the food from the Costco food court.
Now,
like a lot of videos and such.
Something that I want to lay out right away. There's the Rizzler, popular fat kid with the thing.
Yeah, he's
then there's
dimples and
the Costco boys.
Yeah,
which is his brother and his dad.
I think it's his cousin and his dad.
And his dad. We are not interested in teaming up with the Costco
No,
boys.
we don't want the whole family.
No.
The whole family is just kind of clout chasing and riding the Rizzler's coattails, and we just
it's very disrespectful.
I would ideally we want to get the Rizzler in a room without his family. And I'm not saying we're gonna like brainwash him or turn him on his family or anything.
That does sound a little predatory. We definitely don't want
nothing like that.
No.
Nothing.
We don't want to get him alone away from his family for any sort of nefarious reason.
No, we just want to have a chat with him and explain to him, like, if you can get on a rocket to the moon, there's not always going to be 3 or 4 other seats for your family to come along. And, that doesn't make you a bad family member for leaving your family behind in your quest for glory. Like,
yeah,
I've had to do it. Do you think that I'm going to bring my cousin and my dad and all that with me to the White House? No, there's no room for them there.
No, absolutely not. So, the Rizzler, this is something that is just for you. And, if your dad is like your acting manager or whatever, which I'm sure he probably is, he's probably some sort of fucked up
legal guardian, if nothing else.
So your dad obviously can come. He can be involved with this whole thing. Nothing.
Just no on camera.
He's all behind the camera.
Yeah. He can come in. I can sit in the green room with Jerry.
We'll get him chips.
That's perfectly fine. 100%. Yeah. We're not going to we're not going to be mean to him.
They can do the thing. Jerry can take care of him while we're doing.
I actually think the Rizzler's dad and Jerry would hit it off and actually become real life friends.
Yeah, they are kind of the same type of guy.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Jerry lacks Riz. The Rizzler has it in spades. The Rizzler's dad lacks Riz. We have it in spades. You know what I mean? Like it's
a good match.
Yeah.
They can go bowling. And then we can
go to Costco and get a chicken bake.
Yeah, do their whole thing.
That's fine. We have a Costco.
So what we are trying to do from now on is get in contact with the Rizzler. Obviously, we can't just message his social medias. For one, he's a child, so that's kind of weird for us.
I mean, we can slide in his DMs, but you gotta
he's
assume
not gonna
that
see him.
Yeah, he's getting countless messages from all sorts of people wanting him to endorse this and that, and I mean, we're gonna probably slip through the cracks. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But
so we did message him, and obviously it's not seen, it's not replied to, and that's just kind of a shot in the dark. Other people feel free to message him. Maybe if he gets enough messages.
Yeah, constantly tag
us.
him in all of his posts. Just tag us, tag him. Let him know what's going on here, and that he's got a real opportunity to move on up, just like we all do. But that's only going to work if we all come together as a unit.
Yeah. So we're going to be trying to contact him from now on, and we're going to not stop until we do. Have you seen the girl that's freestyling every day until Drake notices her?
No.
Sound from it? No. So it's this girl this white girl looks like Matt's sister, kind of like that type of
yeah.
And she has been freestyling every day.
Is it a good freestyle or is she like a bad rapper?
I feel like she's getting better. It started off really bad, and then she kind of like got into her sound and her thing. And
how many days in is she?
We're talking 80 something days.
How many days do you think, because like Drake's eventually it's gonna work.
He's seen it already.
Oh, you already saw it.
I'm sure, but he hasn't responded. So there's no acknowledgement that she got his attention.
I feel like right now is the best time to do something because Drake's stock is at an all-time low. So if you're gonna shoot your shot and try to get Drake's attention, like now's probably the time when his ego needs healing and needs a band-aid.
But it's also probably the worst time for Drake to respond to a young girl.
How young are we talking? She's in her
20s, but it also could be borderline.
But still, right?
You shouldn't assume anyone's age.
Yeah.
And so she's been making these daily raps, and that is very similar to what? What were we talking about before that?
The Rizzler.
And
his dad.
And then
Costco.
And then right after that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, that's all right. We're going to get Rizzler. Oh, yeah. I said we're going to start our journey of trying to contact the Rizzler and get him on the team, and we're not going to stop.
Yeah, we're going to blow up the Rizzler. Okay.
We're going to be just like the girl that's freestyling for Drake.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
It's going to be that. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Hopefully it won't be as long as her journey because we don't have that much time.
Yeah, but the Rizzler's also nowhere near the celebrity that Drake is. I feel like the Rizzler's, he's like a mid-tier social media influencer, whereas Drake's like an international music superstar. So, I mean, we're, it's not like we're asking the world, Rizzler. Maybe you need to check your ego a little bit, Rizzler, and realize that you're just like a little boy who's famous on TikTok, and you have no business to turn your nose up at us like we're some sort of nobodies. We've been doing this a long time, Rizzler, and we know a thing or two about a thing or two. And maybe you need to acknowledge that this is a great platform for you.
Yeah. So once he gets on here, I think that's going to seal the deal. That's going to shoot us up. Yeah. That's kind of our ace in the hole that we need. So anybody that is down with us now and supporting us now, you can say, I was there day one before the Rizzler got involved, before they blasted off. And that could be right now. That could be today. Because I got a lead on someone who was in a video with the Rizzler. And I'm going to give them a call.
Oh, goodness. This could be the break that we've been desperately needing.
Now, there's no promises, okay? But I feel like this could be getting us one step closer.
God damn it.
Santa Barbara.
Hey, this is Mikey Booyah from the Natural Habitat Podcast, and I'm calling because internet personality The Rizzler. Are you familiar with The Rizzler? That's weird. They hung up right when I mentioned The Rizzler.
Who did you call?
So I called Zoomies. Are you familiar with the store Zoomies?
What, a store?
Yeah, it's the store Zoomies.
What kind of store?
It's a apparel, pop culture and apparel store.
Oh, that's who you called?
They sell
the Rizzler?
They sell JanSport backpacks and all different. They have a big wall full of JanSport backpacks in different colors and styles.
Oh.
And then they have shoes.
So it wasn't someone that's affiliated with the Rizzler.
Well, no, this is the Rizzler recently was in this Zoomies.
Oh.
And he was shaking hands. He was, hey, what's up? He was signing autographs for the employees.
Yeah, he was probably TikToking.
Yeah, he was chumming it up with
his
everyone.
camera and his selfie stick or whatever. Yeah,
He's on TikTok. He's chumming it up with the Zoomies employees. And I know that all of them are friends with the Rizzler now. All of them had this very recent interaction.
and they just hang up on you.
And I'm thinking that one of them can be our in to the Rizzler's camp.
I mean, that's a logical assumption, but they just hung up on you.
They just hung up on me.
What do you
which
think that
is
was
odd.
about?
That's
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
So I guess we probably just have to wait until we get someone that'll talk.
Yeah.
Someone that will spill the beans. Someone that we could brainstorm our approach. I think when I said that we were from the podcast, then it was like he was like, "Oh, the Rizzler, the podcast." And
yeah,
then
I mean,
didn't want anything to do with
he
it.
just got into the good graces of the Rizzler. He doesn't want to risk that by talking to anybody,
No.
without clearing that.
making a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to find someone that we can trick into
Back to the drawing board.
telling us about the Rizzler. I say we just, on the next episode, we call that same Zoomies and maybe get a different employee.
Yeah.
They probably don't. I mean, Zoomies, it's a bunch of like idiots that work there. And I feel like their schedule is not very well done. It's like sporadic every week. It's different. They don't
Sure.
have a set schedule for everyone.
They come and go as they please almost.
Yeah, they're all kids. They're all, going to school. They're
A
all
lot of
going on
people
camping
calling in
trips,
sick and
Yeah.
trading shifts and that sort of thing. Just a real mess over there.
getting transferred to other Zoomies, getting jobs at the other place.
It's a
in the
fucking
mall.
free-for-all in the Zoomies.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we can get someone to spill there.
Yeah.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was these astronauts that are trapped in space.
Yeah, you mentioned that, but I don't really have the whole scoop on that. So what exactly happened and how did it happen? And
Okay, so 2 astronauts blasted off of the planet, right?
they're up in space. Are they lost in space?
No. They're not lost in space. I'm almost 100% sure, 99% sure that they're on the space station, the International Space Station, which is a crazy thing. Like, if you think about it, it's like this little like house in space that all these countries make rockets and then attach their own little thing to.
See, that's another thing that we're going to have to take a look in and go crunch some numbers when I'm elected president, because it seems like for an international space station, why is America having to pay for that? I'm assuming that costs us something on a yearly basis, and it's like, well, why should we foot the bill for all these other countries to go up there who are probably paying far less to access the space station? I mean, I haven't looked at the info or anything, but presumably America built the International Space Station, sent it up there, and basically, it's basically American soil up there, but we're letting, all these other countries with space programs access it. Like, how is that fair? So I think we're going to have to slash the funding for the space station, privatize space travel. We give it exclusively, we give Musk the contract exclusively. All of a sudden, SpaceX is the only ones,
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's not a bad idea, because these astronauts went up there, blasted off, went to the space station. Then they had a Boeing spacecraft, a Starliner, that was headed up there to go get them and bring them back. Something malfunctioned on it.
Boeing notoriously has problems left and right with their jets and their spacecrafts, and screws falling off and things falling apart and breaking down. And
that's what happened. They shot it off of the planet up into orbit, and then it had some sort of malfunction. It was goofy. The craft got goofy, and once you have a goofy craft, you can't ungoofy the craft.
No, you can't just ungoof it.
No, it's goofed for good. So they were like, are we going to put the astronauts in the Goofy Goose, or are we going to send up another craft? So they decided not to take that craft. Then there was no other crafts available. They have one is getting ready to do this mission. Another one they're using for the Interstellar 2 that they're filming. And crafts just aren't free to go get these people. So now SpaceX is the one that stepped up and said, we're going to build a craft to go get them and bring them back, but it won't be ready until February.
See, that's a problem, because how are these astronauts going to vote?
Going to vote? Yeah, that is a problem. I imagine they could probably vote from space.
I mean, can we like send them up a ballot?
Because
like
we're
a little rocket.
I assume
little ballot-sized rocket.
I assume we're sending them supplies in like food and dehydrated ice cream, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So within that supply drop, we can give them the ballot. They fill it out, send it back with their waste. Are they sending their waste back down? Is that how it works?
I think they just like dump it into space, and then it freezes into like a hard, and then it eventually it'll land somewhere, but that's not really our problem.
Yeah, true. Because I mean, what's the percentage that it's going to land in the continental United States?
Exactly.
So we can send them the ballot, or I know a lot of people just have other people fill out their ballot. Like it'll get mailed back to Kansas where their parents live, and their parents will just fill it out and then put it in the mail.
See, that feels a lot like voter fraud to me.
That does sound like voter fraud, right? Is that exactly what that is?
I don't know exactly, but I know voter fraud's, allegedly a big problem for both sides. And presumably for me too, that, I should be concerned, especially I'm the third party candidate who's already at a disadvantage. So now all of a sudden I have to deal with this voter fraud from the left and the right, and potentially space. So left, right, and up.
Left, right, and up.
It's just,
down because of how space works.
I mean, I'm probably going to be elected president, but if for some reason I'm not, I mean, why, obviously, like the reasons are just mounting up as to why I'm going to get screwed out of this thing in November. And I mean, I think voter fraud is at the top of that list.
Computer's like, something's happening with him. You see that?
Computer's been a little off today.
He's on edge. He's
a little off today.
He's doing a thing.
You don't suppose that Computer is like working as a double agent and is giving information to my political rivals, do you? I mean, Computer and we haven't always seen eye to eye. We've, our relationship's been a little rocky at times, historically. Computer, can I trust you? Oof. Silence says it all.
Yikes. So those astronauts in space, that's just there was a point I was going to make about the astronauts in space.
Oh, that sucks.
I know, I totally forgot what it was.
It sucks. Imagine being stuck in space.
And then what were we talking about after that?
Shit.
What were we just talking about before? No, after that.
Costco?
No. After that, after the space thing, after the zoomies.
I don't remember.
Well, that's okay. SpaceX is going to be the only company that would be allowed in space.
That's fine. If it's saving the U.S. taxpayer a few bucks, like I'm good with that. Let Musk run that shit. Let him fucking dump his money in there.
What? Oh, Jerry said that he notified us that Free Candy is here. Free Candy was late today. I guess he just showed up.
Oh, is he here in America now?
No, our American correspondent abroad. I guess not abroad, but up in Canada, the Great White North. Free Candy is here.
Free Candy, can you hear me, bud? Free Candy, I asked you a couple weeks ago to make yourself available here stateside, and you've yet to do so. Is there like an issue with his travel? Or
he did call, and you weren't here, and he said that he thinks that it would be a better idea for him to stay in Canada, find other Americans that are, across the border in Canada.
Free Candy,
and convince them to vote, to mail in their ballots.
Don't get me wrong. Free Candy, I appreciate you thinking, bud, but is that really what we're paying you to do? Or are we paying you to what are we paying him for? What is his job again?
We're not paying him, actually. He's a unpaid intern. And he's, what is his job? He's a digital
field manager.
Yeah, field director. He's
field director.
Field.
Yeah, we told you we need you in Kentucky.
You're in the wrong field, dude.
We need you in the South, Free Candy. We need you talking to these rednecks and trying to convince them to not vote for Trump.
Yeah, so
that's a big job, Free Candy.
We'll talk
about it. If you're not up for it, then
we'll talk about it later after the show's done. We'll have a meeting about it. But are you what's going on here?
I'm smoking some
beep. Is that to win over, like, so that way the voters know you're cool? Because I don't think any other candidate has done this on a podcast. No candidate has done this.
I didn't inhale.
Yeah, you did. Well, maybe not. Let the record show that he stated that he did not inhale.
I found this weed in my garage from like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is the
2022.
It said it expired in 2023, January.
Yeah, it was harvested or packaged in January 2022. Expired in January 2023, and here we are, nearing 2025.
Hell yeah. Oh fuck. This episode of the Natural Habitat Podcast is brought to you by Clorox Wipes. Clorox Wipes, they kill 99.9991% of germs.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you may have had trouble finding Clorox Wipes in the past, in the year 2020, if you were looking for them.
That's over.
I'm here to tell you they've restocked. The supply chain is back chugging along, and you can get your Clorox Wipes today at any store, really.
Yep. Clorox Wipes, they're wet. They're antibacterial, and you could use them to clean up spills. You can clean up messes. You can clean up bugs. You can clean up shit with these
come in
things.
a variety of scents. You got a fresh scent. You got a lemon citrusy scent.
Lavender.
Those are the only two.
No, there's only two. There's no lavender?
No, that's Lysol.
Well, you could use them to clean up anything, any mess around the house, and use the code NHP at your local store and save $2.
Yeah. You may just have to shout the promo.
Okay, cool. Cha-ching, dude. Every time we do that,
cashing in.
Cha-ching.
And every time dollars.
Yeah. Every time someone watches it, cha-ching. It keeps going. Campaign money. We're getting those funds. You can donate at the link in all of our bios on our social medias. Follow that link. Scroll down to the bottom. Donate to the campaign. Why did I say campaign?
Campaign.
Donate to the campaign. So there was another thing that I was going to bring up today.
Check our show notes. I think we had something.
There's something about Mama June in here.
Oh yeah. Enough Mama June. You know who Mama June is, right?
It's the fat kid's mom.
Yeah, from Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, which was like a show probably like a decade ago or so about. I mean, it was gross then. It's about this morbidly obese woman and her, very obese at the time, at least, young daughter, Honey Boo Boo, who was a cute kid, like much like the Rizzler. Like she may have been a little overweight, but she had Riz. Honey Boo Boo had mad Riz.
She was a lot like the Rizzler.
And Mama June is a lot like the Rizzler's dad. The only thing is, Mama June keeps getting like TV shows, being the star of these spin-offs to Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
And Mama June doing this, Mama June doing that. At one point, I think Mama June lost a bunch of weight, and there was a show about that. Like, oh, look, she's gonna paint the town red now that she's lost a few pounds. And I think Mama June put the weight back on, and there's a show now about that. And it's just like, enough, Mama June. It's gross. We're just like gawking at this woman who's, doesn't have much of an education and is, morbidly obese and just kind of like a real sideshow attraction. They keep making shows about her and putting them on, like, it's on like the Discovery Channel or channels that used to be somewhat educational and are now just fucking hot garbage.
Yeah.
So enough, Mama June.
I didn't even know that Mama June was still a thing because I was aware of her back when the Honey Boo Boo craze happened 10 years ago, but I didn't know that this was an ongoing thing. And then just recently I saw, it was just like yesterday, I saw a reel. and it was a clip from Mama June on some news show with her nasty toenails.
It's too much Mama June, and I think that like
then you mention it, so now I'm convinced that Mama June is everywhere.
I mean, I'm going to be making a lot of executive orders once I'm elected president to get this country back on track, and one of those may be that we're going to have, like, I'm not saying deport Mama June. I mean, that seems a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
But maybe we contain Mama June in like a facility, and obviously she's no longer going to be, recorded or anything. Like no more TV shows, but maybe we even just like, or we put her in like a witness protection program where they,
change her
name, change her appearance. I mean, maybe you get her on some Ozempic and get her looking a little different, and just Mama June all of a sudden disappears from the American lexicon, and we're no longer having to be overexposed to Mama June, because it's a real problem, and it's not a good influence on our children, not a good influence on any American, and it's just something that I think we as a country can do without. We can do without another Mama June spinoff.
Yeah, I agree. So I hope that, with you talking about it and with me watching that video and then with us talking about it right now, that it doesn't just fill my algorithm with Mama June stuff.
Can we get some, Jerry? Can we get some toothpick? Can we get a box of toothpicks next week?
Oh yeah, a box of toothpicks.
We need a box of toothpicks next week, and I'll explain why then.
Okay, all right, that's exciting. That's a good reason to tune in next week. So I think that we should probably do. This episode is brought to you by Yamaha. Yamaha, creator of fine musical instruments.
They make so much stuff. They make dirt bikes. They make
boat motors, saxophones, guitars.
Saxophones.
Yeah.
There's very few products that Yamaha does not produce, and produce them well. They make some of the...
Yamaha was like, we're going to open all these factories and all over the world, and we're going to make all these different things.
We're going to do everything.
And we're going to become top tier in everything that we do. We're not just going to do one thing good and the rest of them are mediocre. They're all flat out. Good. Yamaha is a great American
Japanese is what it sounds like
Japanese
to me, but
yeah, a great company nonetheless, no matter where it's from, and they support us, we support them. So whenever you buy anything that's Yamaha related, use the code NHP. Perfect.
Okay.
All Gas, No Brakes, currently known as Channel 5.
Channel 5, yeah.
Friend of the show, Andrew Callahan. He's been on. Have we ever had him on?
No, we've tried a couple times, but yeah. I don't think Jerry's been able to pull that off.
No, but friend of the show nonetheless. He's recently, in his maybe 2 or 3 most current videos, been putting in like an excessive amount of advertisements. And one of them was for something that was like a cool thing where you can type in a topic and it would give you a little chart that shows you all the different news publications and then whether they're on the left, right, or center.
It shows you how biased they are, basically.
And you could see what the left is saying and what the right is saying and then make your own opinion.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So I thought that was relevant to Channel 5 and what they do. So I gave them the first one. I was like, okay, well, that's actually pretty cool. Use a code, you get a discount. And then within that same, 25-minute video, I got another ad for NordVPN. And then the next video, same thing, bunch of ads, bunch of just goofy companies that he's obviously using some sort of advertising partner company that gives you all the regular ones, Factor meals, shit like that, So we decided that if he, doesn't have the journalistic integrity to do a show without all of these crazy sponsors mixed in throughout, do an ad at the end, do one ad at the beginning, whatever. But If he can do that and it's no big deal, then we decided that we could also try it out, try to get paid out from these companies. And we decided to go big because they pay the highest CPM, costs per million or whatever, per million clicks. You get 38 cents or something like that. Sorry, this is business talk. This is backdoor,
Backstage,
behind the curtain,
behind the
business
curtain.
talk.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
You just keep mind your own business.
Just keep donating, okay? So do you have anything else that you want the people to know? Oh,
yeah. I want you to know that not all of us have time to cook a meal every night, but you don't want to eat fast food all the time and get all fat. You know
yeah,
what
it's
I
bad
mean?
for
So
you.
you're trying to eat healthy, but you don't have time. What you can do is you can join Cook Unity. Cook Unity is going to send you home cooked meals from these various chefs, and you got all different styles of food. They can accommodate all your dietary restrictions. You eat keto, no big deal. They got keto.
Yep.
You eat, gluten free. They got gluten free.
With Cook Unity, you put in your preferences on the website. You say, hey, I like this, I like that. You pick your favorite proteins, what vegetables you do and don't like.
And just like that, with a click of a button, you got chef prepared meals on, being dropped off to you at your home.
Yep, and they're curated just for you.
And these are tasty. Let me tell you, I've tried them myself. I'm a big fan of the grilled pork chop. That's my favorite.
I had a pork chop and it came... Okay. So these people, all potential voters.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 15 American seconds to give them a speech that will convince them that you are the candidate to vote for. Okay? So we'll do a countdown.
Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Psst. Hey, you. You got some problems. We all got problems. It's all right. I can make your problems go away. It doesn't matter if it's a someone, a something, a somewhere, whatever it may be. You got problems. I'm gonna make them go away. We don't have to. You don't got to ask any questions. We don't got to talk about where the problems went. Just know that I got you. You vote for me. Once I'm elected president, I'm gonna make your problems go away.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Natural Habitat Recordings.